Welcome to Digital Connection online magazine. My name is Mila Zimunu and I live in Spain. And today I have the greatest pleasure to be interviewing Candace Bui Walston from... Hi, Candace. How are you?
I am doing great. It's Friday.
Do tell us where you are and who you are.
All right, so let's see. I am from US. I am actually in Illinois. Most of people are like, where's Illinois? You might have heard Chicago. So I'm an hour away from Chicago. Who am I? I am a single mom. A lot of people say, what's your title? I always tell people, I don't have a title. I am just a single mom that made things happen. And I have been fortunate enough that that I was able to make my dream come true the last few years. Not trying to say in a bragging way, but I do have people say, what is your 5-year plan? I'm like, well, I did achieve my 5-year plans because 5 years ago, when I walked away from my 6-figure income, my goal was to be able to create income at home where I'm taking care of my kids and I'm doing what I love. And at this particular moment, I could definitely say, I'm doing exactly what I love to do and doing it in the comfort of my own home. I keep telling people that this is the office that I have been working since 2015. Now it's making a little bit more presentable than before. But this is my office, which is like 2 steps away from my bedroom on that side. I do a lot of different things. My main focus is to really try to help individual to build their confidence, to actually dare enough to say, this is my passion and I'm going to make it work one way or the other. That's what I have been working with. And the last, I want to say about 3 years, I have been really focusing on working with a lot of female entrepreneurs to build their confidence, to marry their passion with their business so that they could build a sustainable income from home. And I'm very pleased that I do have few clients that are very successful with their business by doing exactly what they love. And now my actual focus now, as Mil know, I have multiple stream of income. Not that I'm not focused, it's just that I have multiple stream income. Just like I have multiple kids, I have multiple love. So I have my real estate business. I still do some coaching, freelance coaching, but I'm very selective of my coaching clients. But I'm also contracted by a online education company that based in Chicago here. And I'm coaching a group of teachers, almost like 30 teachers on online teaching. And working with the schools and all that, still being a mom, like literally just, I have to delay this interview because I have to go to being a mom. So I think that's a little about me. I don't know if you guys get that.
Excellent. A little background is that Candace, we met on Facebook.
Yes, we did.
About 4 years ago, 4 to 5 years. It's just at the time we seem to have mixed timelines right now. So
it's been a while.
It's been a while. And Candace was one of my mentors around 2 years ago in business coaching. And she helped me a lot because Candace is inspiring and helps you think deeply about options and multiple streams of income and what is available when you're coachable. And I know Candace is very, very good at that, at explaining why being coachable is so important.
Here's the thing. I always say there's few type of people. You will have the person that say, I'm open, I have a growth mindset, I'm ready to learn and take action. And then you have those people, everything that you tell them, they say, oh, I know. Those I know person. And then there will be another type of person is that I want to do this. Tell me how I can do this. But when you give them advice, when you tell them, they say, okay, I will do it. 6 years later, they still in the same place. Those are the people. Why is coachable so important? You have to let your ego go if you want to grow. That's basically it. We are, every single person in your life that come into your life, if you are coachable, you have open mindset, and you let go of your ego, you could learn from that person. If you're not coachable, it doesn't matter what type of resource, how good the coach is, because you become that person. Oh, I know. Because everything I'm trying to show you, you said you know, then why do you need me?
And they don't take action.
And they don't take action. And you know me, like, you know, I'm a big peppy. I am an action coach for a reason, because I need to make sure there's no point to hire a coach and buying courses if you don't take action. And I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs become one of those courses and coaches hoarder. You know, I call them the hoarder because they keep buying courses. They keep hiring coaches.
Yeah.
Yes. And they not taking action. And then they blame the coach is not good, or the course is waste of money or time. The question is, what do you do with all of this resources?
Yes. Are you learning and using it, not just learning and just hoarding it?
You have to implement what you learn, and you also have to, sometimes you have to unlearn what you learn to learn something, to learn something, because every single thing that you want to learn, or every single coach that you work with, they all come with different perspective. They all come with different experience. If you truly, a lot of people buying courses and hiring coaches based on what other people
said,
review. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of people come to me and say, I would like you to be my coach. And I always tell them, tell me, I'm going to give you some time to come back to me and tell me, what is it that you're expecting from your coach? What do you want from me? If you can't even tell me what is it that you're looking for, then you shouldn't be hiring me. And a lot of people, and then they come back and they tell me what they want. And then I could tell them, you know what, we're not a good fit. I don't do that.
Excellent. That is a very good point.
Because you have to know, a lot of people just, this is why a lot of entrepreneurs struggling. They never seen their money grow. They never seen their business growing, even though they invest so much in there. It's just because they have no idea. They have never really sit down and do an inventory on what is it that I really want.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's so important. It's a question one must make before they decide on investing in that coach or that course. What is the outcome that you expect, and what are you willing to do yourself as a person to make sure that that outcome is achieved? Otherwise, it's time and money that has been wasted, and you're not advancing. So what are your passions, Candace?
To be honest with you, I know since second grade, I already know I'm in love with education. I want to be a teacher. And my last brick and mortar job, I was assistant principal for high school. I was a teacher once. And then I walk away from that. I continue being in education, but in different field. My biggest passion is to really educate people, to really build that confidence within that person. And you have to believe, first and foremost, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be comfortable with your own skin before you go out there and trying to, date or get into a certain business and get into a certain job. Because if you don't believe in yourself, just like you're trying to go sell some people, a product, if you don't believe in the product, why should I? Right?
Exactly.
So my passion is to really try to help people to really find out who they are, and really not try to fabricate who you are on social media so that attract people come to you, but truly be who you are on social media, offline or anywhere, to attract your target audience.
Your ideal audience, right?
Yes, it is all about you're not going to have every single client that needs your help, because some people will find what I do to be a turn off, but some people will love it.
It's not
And
for
those
them.
who love it, yeah, those who love it will always come back to me. It's like Mila and I, we never really in a business together. However, you and I, we have a mutual attraction between us because we both like to empower others with our knowledge, and we both try to inspire others. And sometimes I could be a little bit funny. Sometimes my language could be a little bit offensive by other people, but the right person will never feel like they have to tiptoe around me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It's attracting the right audience, knowing who your audience is and being selective. And I love that part of where you said you're being selective with your coaching clients, because I think a lot of people think, no, coaching, you just coach anyone. And it's not like that, because one, you are investing your own time with another person and you're creating that relationship. And depending on how the two of you interact, it will depend on the outcome.
Yes. It's just because people willing to pay you doesn't mean they are your ideal client. Like for me, for my ideal client, if you coming to me and say, oh, I know, well, you're not my client. My client would not say, I know. Now, there are certain things that you probably know, but there's the right way to do it.
Exactly.
You know, and it's just how you select the person to work with you. It's how they select the right coach. You have to be selective.
It works. It definitely works. Now, tell us a little bit about your website, Candace Uncensored. What is it about?
Repeat that question again.
Your website, your podcast.
So I have put my podcast on hold for like over a year now, because my business have grown so much, and it's become, and this is another thing that I really wish a lot of entrepreneurs understand. Just because opportunities out there everywhere, but you need to know when to take a step back and say, you know what, I'm going to take a break, which that's what I did. My health started getting a little bit, I didn't have time to take care of myself. So this past year, if you have been following me on Facebook, you know this past year I have been taking time out to have fun.
I've noticed you have traveled a lot, which is awesome.
Yes, I have been doing a lot of fun stuff. So I took a year off from my podcast, and I actually playing with the idea, getting back to it. But my podcast, Candace Uncensored, the idea of my podcast is to share my experience in different life, life, business, parenting, single mother, dating world. What I have a whole different, everybody has a different way to live their life, but I want to show people how you could live an unfiltered life to still attract people.
Exactly.
But you have to learn to be honest with yourself.
It has to work for you.
Yes. So the podcast was to share my experience on different things. And the idea was to bring on other successful person, mainly female, to come in and share their experience, whether it's life, parenting, or business, or anything related. Because I see that a lot of so-called show try to focus on something good. I want to be able to say, hey, this is life. There's good day, bad day, and then the ugly day. So I want to bring all of those. The point is not to complain when you have an ugly and nasty day, but the point is, how do you overcome different things? I kind of, my goal is really to use this podcast to really start motivating people to see. And I actually told my best friend this. I'm like, I'm one of those people that I'm so lucky. I should not be, I have not complained about my life because I'm so lucky. I have a good group of friends and family, and I'm able to do what I love and in my term. And my friend told me, and she reminded me, she said, is it really luck though? You started it back in 2014. You have no idea what you want to do. All you want to do is to create an income at home with your kids. And you work really hard, even though you don't know what the outcome is, but you know that was your goal. And you continue working hard. And despite all these people who have different input in your life and telling you how you should just get a job, and you never give up. And I'm like, you know what? It is true. I always tell people, luck has nothing to do with my success. I work my ass off, everything.
An opportunity, being where the opportunities were and finding them and saying, what capabilities have I got? How can I use this to make it work? And that's what I love about you. I always see that you're always empowering and inspiring and finding a way to make it work.
You know what, a lot of people, and I understand there's a lot of things happen in life, and that's within our control or outside of our control. However, I actually heard this yesterday. Mel Robbins, she said this, and I love it. She said, you know, you probably have a day that you feel like you don't want to get out of bed. You probably have a day that you don't feel like to go to work out. You probably have a day that you don't feel like to deal with anything. But you still get up and go work out. You still get up and go take care of the kids. You still do all of these things that you don't feel like to, because you have no choice. Like, your feelings has no choice, but you do have a choice on your behavior and your thought and your action. And I'm like, this is so true, because, you know, I'm person that I'm not as severe, and I do kind of see some of the people that go through depression, anxiety. I myself, the last few years, I have suffered from seasonal depression, which is in the winter time. I'm such an outgoing person, working from home. Winter time, I don't get to go out. I have that seasonal depression, and I had that was one of the episodes that I have to have the anxiety, and they thought it was my heart, but it was just anxiety. And when people have depression, they get up, they don't feel like to do a lot of things. And even with mom like us, working every single day, when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to get up at 6 o'clock to get the kids ready to go to school, whatever. But you still get up. Your feeling was not a choice, but your action to get up, because you know why you need to do such thing, you always have that choice to get up. The thought that you have, the behavior that you have, the action that you have a choice to do so. And when I heard that last night, I'm like, this is so true. And I want people to understand, my life is, everybody think that my life is like rainbow and unicorn. My life is not rainbow and unicorn. There will be a day I don't
feel like doing anything.
Yes, there will be a day I'm so tired and I don't feel like to do anything. But I still get up and do it, because I know why. My why is bigger than anything else. You know,
the why is bigger than any excuse that you could make in your brain, which is so important. And the same with family life as it is in business life. To be an entrepreneur is double the work than saying I'm going to the office or I'm going to a brick and mortar store, whatever. Because you've got a lot of things bombarding you while you're thinking, right, I have to sit down at the computer and start working for this client and whatever. And you're thinking, right, I've got the ironing, I've got the laundry, shopping.
Right, right. That's why I'm
The
like,
kids to be picked up from school, like, oh dear, is that the time?
right. So sometimes you just have to know, like this is where when I coach my client and when they start something, and I always ask, why do you want to do this? And if their answer was, I want to replace my income, or their answer was, I just want to make extra few $100, whatever your answer is, I respect that. But your why has to be bigger than you. If your why is not bigger than you will get defeated so easily.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like, you know, in the MLM industry and the affiliate industry, a lot of people say they want to make a quick bucks. Yeah, they want
there is no quick buck.
A lot of people want to thinking that it could make a quick bucks, but you really don't. And if you're really thinking about making a quick buck, you might make a quick commission, the first commission, but they might not be
it's not
sustained.
constant.
No, it's not, because the moment that you're not making money and you're chasing after money, that's your why, you will feel defeated.
Yeah, the first obstacle, you will fall. You won't be able to overcome it. And that's so important to know the why. Why do you want to start your business? Why do you want to work online? Why do you want to be your own boss? Which I think it sounds so simple. You will be your own boss, and it's not that simple.
No, it's not, because you got to do everything.
Yeah, we know that we are both proof of that.
Yes,
everything,
because
every little thing.
And that's why I have one. I don't. You met me when I first started my business back in 2015, 2016, 2017. People always say, when do you sleep? Because I used to take on client that's in Nigeria, UK, whatever.
Yeah, you had different time zones.
Yeah, I'm up when they're up, and I only work after my kids go to sleep, because during the time they were younger back then. Now they're older. They don't even care about me anymore, but they were younger back then. So I could only work during the time that my kids are asleep or school, and then I will be up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then 6 o'clock in the morning I have to get up to do mommy's duty. And people see because it used to be my religious that wake up when I go to sleep at night, I put a positive quote on my Facebook so that I could conclude my day in a positive note. And then in the morning before I get up, I refuse to get out of my bed until I find a positive quote that I want to live by for today. So people see my post and they say, when do you go to sleep? Well, a few years later, I told them, well, remember those days that I never sleep? So that I could sleep anytime I want. I could sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 p.m. in the afternoon when I feel like it, because I pay my due.
Exactly. You paid it forward.
Yes.
But it was work. It was work in progress.
Definitely.
And it was a lot of sleepless nights.
Definitely. And even now, there will be days like today would be one of those days that I know I have been working hard from Monday through Thursday. Today is a relaxing day for me, but I was still able to manage to get into a few meetings. So you have to put in the work, and you have to be willing. Here's something that if we truly want to make this whole entrepreneurship working for you, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to hear the no. You have to be willing to accept the hater, and you have to be willing to do whatever it takes for you to say, I'm satisfied.
Sure.
A lot of people are not willing to do a lot of different things, and that's why it's not working out. And then the biggest thing is a lot of people fail to invest in themselves. That's my biggest thing.
Most important. Yes. Invest in yourself before you even take on that big task of saying, I'm starting my own business. What are you willing to learn? Yeah. Wow. I knew this was going to be such an awesome interview, Candace. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. With the different time zones, thank you for coming on. And I know that you have to go and pick up your son, so I will let you go now. but it has been a pleasure, and I hope to be able to interview you again, and we can
Definitely.
share some more exciting points
Yes.
about how to be an entrepreneur and a single mom all at the same time.
Thank you for having me. I love this. Anytime I could go and motivate someone, I'm all for it.
I know. That's why I said I have to interview Candace, definitely. Thank you. And from Connection Digital in Spain, have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world.
Thank you.